Alex stumbled through the jagged rocks, his boots kicking up dust with every step. The desert planet of Korath stretched endlessly before him, a sea of orange sand and sharp cliffs that pierced the sky like giant teeth. His water supplies were nearly gone and his stomach growled with hunger. Days of wandering had left him exhausted, but he could not stop. Somewhere out there, shelter, water, and maybe even help waited. The sun beat down mercilessly and he squinted against its brightness. Then in the distance he saw movement, fluid, graceful, and deliberate. At first he thought it might be a mirage, a trick of the sun, but the figure became clearer as it approached. It was tall, wearing armor that shimmered darkly in the sunlight as if alive. On her back rested a curved weapon, glowing faintly with energy. Her stride was confident, a predator moving through its territory. Alex froze, unsure if he should run or hide. Every story he had heard of Korath warned of its alien inhabitants, especially warriors like her. Known simply as Kira, she was a legend among travelers. A fierce warrior woman whose combat skills were unmatched, and whose judgment was absolute. To meet her alone in the desert meant one thing: death. Kira stopped abruptly as her piercing blue eyes met his. Her hand went to her weapon, raising it with ease. The blade hummed, its energy resonating in the dry air. Alex's heart pounded and he instinctively raised his hands, not sure what else to do. Then something unexpected happened. Her hand trembled slightly. Her eyes widened and the weapon slipped from her fingers, clattering on the rocks. Alex's mouth went dry. He could not understand what had just happened. You are her," Kira whispered. Disbelief and confusion mixed in her voice. Alex took a cautious step forward. "I'm me," he said slowly, trying to keep calm. "I don't understand what you mean." Kira's eyes did not leave him. She studied his face as though trying to unlock a secret hidden deep within his features. Memories she had long buried came rushing back. Memories of a human woman named Leora, someone she had loved and lost years ago. Somehow Alex bore an uncanny resemblance to her. The resemblance was not just physical. There was something in his posture, the way he held himself, even the way he breathed. I have to take you to my people," Kira said finally, her voice steady but tense. "They must see this for themselves." Alex blinked, still trying to process everything. "Your people? Look, I don't know who you think I am, but I'm just trying to survive here." Kira hesitated, then gestured for him to follow. She moved with effortless grace, her long strides eating up the distance with ease. Alex struggled to keep up, his legs weak from dehydration and exhaustion, but something in her presence gave him an odd sense of safety. The journey was perilous. Jagged rocks and hidden crevices threatened to trip him at every step. Wind gusted across the desert, kicking up clouds of sand that stung his eyes and skin. Strange creatures scuttled in the distance, their glowing eyes reflecting the sunlight as they moved. Kira did not flinch. She led him as though the desert itself obeyed her will. Her senses tuned to every danger. At one point, a massive predator emerged from the dunes. A creature with 6 legs, armored scales, and a jaw filled with razor-sharp teeth. Alex froze, certain it would end him. But Kira did not hesitate. With a swift motion, she drew her weapon, the energy blade slicing the air with a hiss. The predator lunged and she met it head-on, deflecting its attack with precision. Alex watched, awestruck, as she fought with a combination of speed, strength, and strategy that seemed almost supernatural. Within moments, the creature retreated and Kira returned her weapon to her back as if nothing had happened. "You're different from other humans," Kira said quietly, glancing at him. "There is something in you, something I haven't seen in decades. It is why I cannot strike you," Alex swallowed. "I still don't understand. Why did you drop your weapon? Who am I supposed to be?" Kira shook her head. "Not now. You must survive first. Then the truth will come." They continued through the desert, finally reaching a hidden path carved into the cliffs. The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows over the landscape. In the distance, Alex could see what appeared to be a settlement, partially hidden by the rocky terrain. As they approached, more figures appeared, armored warriors like Kira, standing alert and wary. Their eyes narrowed as they took in Alex, and hands instinctively reached for weapons. Kira stepped in front of him. "He is with me," she said firmly. The warriors hesitated, confusion flickering in their expressions. One stepped forward, an older woman with silver streaks in her armor. Her eyes widened slightly and she lowered her weapon. "It is as you said, Kira. He resembles her." Alex shook his head. "I don't know who her is. I've never met anyone like that." Kira's eyes softened, but her body remained tense. Her name was Leora. She was the human who once changed everything for us. Brave, kind, and gone too soon. You remind me of her. Not exactly, but enough to stir memories we thought lost. Alex frowned, still struggling to understand. Why me? Why here? Kira did not answer immediately. She led him through the camp, showing him shelters, water reserves, and makeshift training grounds. The warriors watched him closely, some with curiosity, some with cautious respect. Alex noticed that Kira occasionally glanced at him, studying his reactions, his expressions, as if trying to decipher an unspoken connection. That night, as the twin moons rose over Korath, the camp settled into quiet. Alex sat near a fire, warming his hands, still trying to process the day's events. Kira remained nearby, pacing slightly, her eyes never leaving him for long. You may not realize it, Kira said after a while, but your presence here will change things. Things we could not have foreseen. You carry a part of her that we lost, and that is powerful. Dangerous, yes, but also necessary. Alex shook his head. I'm just a human. I don't have powers or skills or any special destiny. I'm just trying to survive. Kira's expression softened. Strength is not just about skill or weapons. It is about courage, compassion, and the will to act when others cannot. That is what she had, and that is what I see in you, even if you cannot yet see it in yourself. The night passed slowly, the desert winds howling around the cliffs. Alex could feel the weight of the eyes of Kira's people on him, their vigilance unbroken even in sleep. And Kira, she did not rest. She stayed awake watching him, remembering Leora, and considering the possibilities that his presence opened. By dawn, a plan had formed in her mind. Alex would need to learn the truth of who Leora was, why she mattered to Kira and her people, and how he might play a role in what was to come. But first he needed to survive the desert, understand the alien warriors, and accept the strange connection that bound him to a past he had never lived. As the first light of day painted the cliffs in gold and orange, Alex rose and prepared to follow Kira. Fear, confusion, and curiosity battled within him, but one thing was clear. His journey on Korath was only beginning, and whether he was ready or not, the universe had placed him here for a reason that would soon reveal itself in ways he could never have imagined. The morning light bathed the desert cliffs in pale gold as Alex followed Kira through the narrow canyon paths. The air was cooler now, but the wind still carried sharp grains of sand that stung his skin. He moved cautiously, trying not to stumble over uneven rocks, while Kira strode ahead with effortless grace. Her armor shimmered faintly in the sunlight, and her eyes scanned the terrain constantly, alert for any danger. You need to understand, Kira said without looking back, her voice calm but serious. Your resemblance to Leora is more than coincidence. Something brought you here. Something important. Alex frowned, adjusting the strap of his backpack. I still don't understand. Leora, I don't know her. How can I be important just because I look like someone else? Kira slowed slightly, finally turning to him. You carry her image, yes, but also her courage, her spirit. Humans often forget the strength they hold inside. You have it, even if you don't know it yet. He felt a strange warmth at her words, though he still could not grasp their meaning. Before he could ask more, a low rumble echoed through the canyon. Alex froze, and Kira's hand went instinctively to her weapon. From the shadows emerged a group of alien scouts. Their bodies were lean and muscular, equipped with energy blades and armor that glinted menacingly in the sunlight. They stopped a short distance away, their eyes narrowing as they assessed the two of them. Kira stepped in front of Alex, her stance firm. Stay behind me, she commanded quietly. The lead scout stepped forward, a sneer on his face. Kira, he said, we thought you were alone. Who is this human you bring into our territory? Alex felt a surge of fear, but Kira's presence steadied him. She did not flinch, her gaze unwavering. He is with me, she said firmly. He is not your enemy. The scout tilted his head, skeptical. With you? You bring a human here? You know the rules. Humans are not to interfere in our affairs. Kira's eyes narrowed. I make my own rules. He is here for a reason, and you will respect that. The scout hesitated, sensing the strength in her voice. Finally, he nodded reluctantly. As you wish, Kira, but be warned, one misstep and he will be treated as any other trespasser. With that, the scouts melted back into the canyon shadows, leaving Alex and Kira alone. Alex exhaled, relieved but shaken. That Didn't go well, he said quietly. Kira shook her head. They will learn. They always do, but now we must move faster. There is more you need to see and more you need to understand. They continued through the canyon, eventually emerging into a wide valley. There, nestled among jagged cliffs, lay a settlement unlike any Alex had seen. Towers of metal and stone rose high, connected by bridges and walkways. Small lights flickered along the paths, and he could see alien figures moving purposefully through the streets. "This is our home," Kira said, her voice tinged with pride. "Here we prepare, we train, and we protect what is ours, and soon you will play a part in that protection." Alex's eyes widened. "Me? I'm just a human who got stuck on your planet. I don't know anything about protecting your people." Kira smiled faintly, a rare softness in her expression. "You may not know now, but you will learn. And you may teach us something we have forgotten. That strength does not always come from weapons or skill, but from heart, mind, and will." As they entered the settlement, Alex felt the weight of dozens of eyes on him. Warriors paused in their routines, their expressions curious, cautious, and sometimes reverent. Kira guided him through the streets, explaining the history of her people, their battles, and the losses they had endured. "They once fought alongside humans," she said. "Leora was part of that history, brave, clever, and fearless. She helped our people when we thought all hope was lost." Alex listened, amazed. He still could not fully grasp how he resembled someone so important. Yet the respect and awe of these alien warriors were undeniable. That night, the settlement gathered in the central courtyard. A large fire burned in the middle, casting long shadows across the faces of the warriors. Kira stood beside Alex as her leader, a tall alien woman with silver armor, approached. "You have brought him, Kira," the leader said, her voice calm but commanding. "This human, is he truly what you claim?" Kira nodded. "He carries the spirit of Leora. It is clear in his courage and his presence. He may not know it yet, but he is important to what comes next." Alex stepped forward, unsure of what to say. I don't know anything about Leora. I can't take her place. I want to survive." The leader studied him, her eyes piercing. "Survival is only the beginning. We face dangers beyond what humans have known, and yet, perhaps in you we will find hope." Before Alex could respond, a sudden alarm blared. Red lights flashed and the ground trembled. Enemy scouts, more numerous than the ones in the canyon, were approaching the settlement. Their weapons glinted in the moonlight and their numbers were overwhelming. Kira grabbed Alex's arm. "Stay close. This is your first real test, human." Alex felt a surge of fear, but also determination. He had survived Korath's desert, and he would survive this. Together with Kira, he followed her to the outer walls where warriors were already preparing for battle. The enemy surged forward, and the battle began in a whirlwind of movement, light, and sound. Kira moved like a storm, her blade cutting through the air with deadly precision. Alex watched, learning quickly. When he saw an opening, he used his surroundings, rocks, ledges, and debris, to slow down the attackers and help Kira's warriors hold their ground. Though inexperienced, Alex's human ingenuity surprised everyone. He created diversions, set traps, and moved with unexpected speed. Warriors whispered in astonishment as they realized that this human, fragile by appearance, was making a tangible difference in the battle. Kira fought beside him, protecting him when necessary but also allowing him to act. "Do not fear," she said. "Trust yourself. You are capable of more than you know." By the time the twin moons were high in the sky, the attackers had been repelled. The settlement was battered but intact. Warriors regrouped, tending to the wounded and repairing damage. Alex, exhausted and covered in dust, finally allowed himself to breathe. Kira approached him, her armor scorched in places, her breathing heavy but controlled. "You did well," she said, almost softly. "You have courage, cleverness, and a heart that fights for more than just yourself. You are like her, truly like Leora." Alex shook his head, still trying to process. "I didn't do anything special. I just acted. I didn't think I could fail." Kira's eyes softened and she placed a hand on his shoulder. "That is exactly what makes you special. Strength is not measured in skill alone, but in the will to act when others hesitate. Leora had that. So do you." As the settlement settled into uneasy quiet, Kira's leader approached again. She studied Alex carefully before speaking. "Perhaps this human is what we need. He is a reminder of the courage we once had, the hope we once carried. And now, We will see if he can help us reclaim it. Alex looked around at the warriors, the settlement, and Kira beside him. Despite the fear and uncertainty, a new feeling stirred within him, a sense of purpose, a chance to make a difference. He was no longer just a stranded human on an alien planet. He was part of something larger, something meaningful, something that could change the course of an entire people. Kira's hand brushed lightly against his arm, a silent acknowledgement of trust. Together they looked toward the horizon, where the desert stretched endlessly and threats awaited. But for the first time, Alex did not feel powerless. He had allies, he had purpose, and most importantly, he had the courage to face whatever came next. The twin moons cast silver light over the settlement, painting the desert in soft, eerie beauty. And in that light, Alex realized that his journey on Korath was far from over. It had only just begun. Together, human and alien warrior, they would face the challenges ahead. Together, they would uncover the truth about Leora, the legacy she left, and the future that now rested in their hands. And together, they would prove that courage, heart, and determination, whether human or alien, could change the universe itself.